Now that we've made it to the top 8 of the World Cup and all the 4 fun teams have been eliminated, I can properly get down to hating each and every team on a personal level, starting with the bracket of doom. South Korea has proved to not be the unbeatable juggernaut some people pretended they were. They can obviously demolish teams like Colombia and Mexico with the K-pop comp, but when it came time to play an actual team in Finland, not only were they genuinely threatened on every map, but Finland was in prime position to win the series when they were up 2-0 on New Junk City. They need to focus up if they want to make it out of their side of the bracket over China and I guess the US. To help them lock in, the first step is to locate the real Hanbin, not this fraud being mind controlled by a random Blizzard exec that got diffed by Vestola. We're used to him being the undisputed GOAT at any off tank, and here he is whiffing fluxes and getting caught out for no reason. They also need to keep Lip off the Bastion as much as possible. He isn't getting smoked or anything, but when you have someone capable of 1v9ing like that, it's a crime to not let him cook. They're still the favorites to win it all just because of their raw talent, but they really need to tighten up. As a Canadian, it brings me no pleasure to announce that they are absolutely cooked going up against Korea round 1. The horrific loss to Britain after forgetting themselves with Cal Lucio and keeping Seeker chained up on Bastion has resulted in catastrophe. They do still have a chance, however. If the strength of the full moon had lingered just a few more days, the wolf within could be unleashed and simply be too much for Korea and this fraud Hanbin to handle. We've seen Mateball upset Proper before. We've seen him Ajax Vindame. There is no reason he can't do it again. China realistically would be the favorites if the meta wasn't so Sigma oriented. They sent Atlanta packing in AWOOOOO playoffs and were better than the fuel for the entirety of last year. They have the most potent damage line in the world and a backline that has always found another gear on stage. Monk legitimately turns into LeBron but good in front of a crowd. He is just different when the lights are brightest. However, this comes at a price. For better or for worse, they are heavily reliant on the Gushue Doomfist. All it takes is one dude figuring out how to beat the Doom comp and it is looking dire. The Gushma isn't completely unusable, but to win with it, Leave and Shiny to carry massively. All I'm saying is it's a bad look if the country that cannot legally play the game becomes world champions. It is absolutely insane how hyped up this American team was. I mean, it's the mid-Toronto Defiant core, coached by the guy who flopped out of playoffs with one of the most talented teams in Overwatch history. Losing to Saudi Arabia was never out of the question, but they got beat so badly they hit the twink alarm and broke Super out of cryostasis just to captain them to victory. It's hard to know just how much this leadership will actually help, but with collusion, they looked as good at planning as Texas highway engineers, so it truly cannot get any worse. All this team is right now is a bunch of mechanically skilled players running around and hoping their talent pulls through. The unnecessary hero plays and overambition while chasing kills needs to stop. The US have to get their best people on the case to figure out how to beat this Chinese comp of doom, but even more importantly, they need to forcefully restrain Gator from going anywhere near the war room for the rest of the tournament. Before I move on to the bracket that was rigged for America but now doesn't have America because they fumbled, I wanted to let you guys know that I will be co-streaming the top 8 on both YouTube and Twitch, so keep an eye out for that if you want an unparalleled viewing experience. With this bracket nonsense, the United Kingdom have an actually decent shot at grand finals. ChrisTfer continues to prove that coaching can elevate a team to greater heights. Bro has even made Kai smile, which has dragged his mojo out of the hellish LA Gladiators mindset. Jake Haru is also surprisingly pulling his weight on Sigma, and the flex support off-roll rotation between Boneback and Mamone has been fine as well. Neither of them are really tearing up the lobby, but they aren't liabilities, which is all you need. Chris either knows what he's about or just really hates Cronus. Either way, it's working. Finland secretly might be the real deal and are out for vengeance on Saudi Arabia after the LH Cloudy ban, and they are completely set up to get their wish. Curiously enough, Saudi may have inadvertently helped them. Vestola was one of the best performing Sigma in the group stage, and if they had gone with a cloudy Rhine comp, I doubt they'd have dented Korea whatsoever. It's great and all that they posed a serious threat to Korea, but they have to figure out how to close the deal. Masa must be 35 by now, and yet he is still fumbling point touches and beating down 3 in lost fights. While there are individual plays from Sana and Cloud, the biggest boon for this team is their commitment to the system, and if that starts to falter in high pressure situations, it's not worth anything. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has not just found a way to abuse the ranked ladder, but also the World Cup bracket. With no Korea or China in their way, they are absolutely the favorite to make it to grand finals. What's more, they aren't doing it in their patented flyer abusing mindset. They're trying their hand at real honest Overwatch. No tricks, no gimmicks, just straight up seeing who's the better team. The pop-off potential across the board along with great slow positional play makes them an absolute force. Quartz and Majed can both just win fights outright, especially with Kasa applying big pressure on the Sigma. This team is cooking with pure gas, even bringing in Kariv and Calyx to further their strat book, while some other teams might be lacking. Spain is just the weakest team here by a lot. Sorry boys, thanks for coming. See you next time. But much like the World Wars, Spain is just around. They're not really participating in this battle. Gala and Canale have had some nice moments, and the fake punk has been fun. But unfortunately, they are just a stepping stone for Saudi Arabia. With all that said, I'm going with a China vs Saudi Arabia finals, with China winning in a dominant 4-0 fashion. There definitely will be good matches in this top 8, which we desperately needed after seeing some of this nonsense ball mirrors and K-pop comps running around. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for more pro Overwatch content and have yourself a good one. Deuces.